What makes this city so special is its distinct neighborhoods, which themselves make up the integral parts of New York City. Times Square is a commercial intersection, tourist destination, entertainment center, and probably the most well-known, recognizable neighborhood in New York City. It's home to some of the city's most iconic imagery, including the obscene amount of lit-up billboards, flagship stores, infamous characters, and is home to the Broadway Theater District. It's also well known for being the location of the world-famous New Year's Eve ball drop. Times Square is contained between Broadway and 7th Avenue, from 42nd Street to 47th Street. One of the world's most popular tourist destinations, it holds 50 million visitors annually. On its busiest days, over 460,000 pedestrians will pass through Times Square. It is definitely one of the most interesting places in the city, and there's not really any place quite like it. If you're already subscribed, this is a brand new series, and we'll be touring the best neighborhoods in New York City in future episodes, so make sure to click that subscribe button. Now, Times Square isn't necessarily a place where you would think to live, but what would this neighborhood tour be without checking out a Times Square apartment? My friends John Hill and Sarah Dici just so happen to live in Times Square, and they were kind enough to let me showcase how they make it work.
I love that we can get crazy endorphin boosts if we just skate one block down the street, but it's actually really quiet where we are.
When I imagine New York, I imagine huge buildings. I want that energy. When I step outside, I feel it. And we are in a more residential area, so we have great restaurants. It's very centrally located, so we're close to a subway, so we can get anywhere like that. The noise has become a little bit of a nuance, and that is why we are moving soon.
True.
Among other things, and because it's expensive.
John and Sarah pay $3,500 per month for a one-bedroom apartment right near Times Square. It has a full kitchen with a very rare New York City dishwasher, a very spacious living area, floor-to-ceiling windows with an inspiring view of Hudson Yards, and even a rooftop with incredible views of Midtown. A full tour of their Times Square apartment is linked down below in the description if you want to check that out. Continuing on with this tour, you might wake up a little groggy if you're staying in Times Square and you forget to close those blinds because of all the bright lights in this neighborhood. They make it feel like it's daytime outside 24/7. To match your energy here, you'll need a great boost to start your day. And there is no better way to start the day than heading to a classic New York City diner. I recommend heading to Ellen's Stardust Diner for a great first step into the chaos that is Times Square. 6:56 in the morning. It's my third time back here trying to get a seat, and the restaurant isn't even open yet, but there's a line. Now, Ellen's is so popular that to film this video, I tried 3 separate times to eat here, and each time there was a line down the block to get in. So finally, I got here at 7 o'clock in the morning for the opening to see what made this place so world famous. Ellen's Stardust Diner is a retro 1950s themed restaurant, and it's regarded as one of the best themed restaurants in New York City, thanks to its singing waitstaff. The interior of the restaurant is neon lit with bi-level seating. The diner is decorated with retro-themed memorabilia such as photos of famous actors on the walls, and in some ways it feels like a tourist's best-kept secret. Now, out of nowhere, the music begins and the person serving you your omelet begins to belt out show tunes. Apparently, it is nearly impossible to get hired at Ellen's without knowing someone. And due to the nature of show business, you could be starring in a Tony Award-winning production one day and bussing tables the next. The pure level of talent working at Ellen's is extraordinary. After breakfast, my first suggestion is just to walk around and soak in the city. Feel the energy of the tourists, commuters, residents, vendors, stores, restaurants, and take in the day, letting it bring you wherever you end up. I'm not going to sugarcoat this in any way. Times Square, it's very loud, and it kind of smells like a toilet. But that's why people come to Times Square, for an experience that is so specifically unique to this area that you can't find this anywhere else in the entire world. You'll definitely run into some interesting people and characters in Times Square. Just remember that if you are going to take a photo or interact, they're expecting a tip in return. After all, this is New York, and nothing is free. After you've gotten yourself acquainted with the area, it's time to get some lunch. There's 2 routes you can go here. Chances are that your favorite fast food restaurant has a larger than life mega version here, like this massive McDonald's here, which is quick and could be kind of fun to explore. Or you could hit the Joe's Pizza for a slice. Times Square isn't necessarily known to have the best restaurants in the city, but Joe's is actually one of the best pizza spots in town for locals, tourists, and it even has the celebrity stamp of pizza approval from the likes of Leo and Bradley Cooper. One of these, and then one of the mushroom. Yes, please. Yes, sir. Thank you. Now, Joe's is quality pizza pie, and it's a few notches above your typical dollar slice joint. It's not the healthiest, but you can't really go wrong with a couple of slices that you can easily walk off. After lunch, there's a ton of options for how to spend the rest of your day. You can visit Ripley's Believe It or Not on 42nd and 8th Avenue. And if you don't happen to run into your favorite celebrity on the streets, you can always pop into the Wax Museum and get a pretty lifelike selfie with Angelina or Jenna Marbles. Or you could visit one of the massive flagship stores and do some shopping. You walk in here and it instantly smells like milk chocolate. It's just overwhelming. And to truly get the best views of Times Square, head up to the top of the Rock observation deck. In my opinion, it is the perfect way to see unparalleled, jaw-dropping views of the entire city. Comment down below which neighborhood you want me to tour next, and with that, I will see you in the next video.
Let's go.